Donald Trump continues to come under fire, of course, for his record on race, something we've been covering tonight. Now there is a 2020 Democratic hopeful taking aim at his policies and somewhere that might reach not only Donald Trump, but his quote-unquote base. Julian Castro buying airtime explicitly on Fox News to run this ad speaking directly to Trump.
President Trump, you referred to countries as shitholes. You urged American congresswomen to go back to where they came from. You called immigrants rapists. As we saw in El Paso, Americans were killed because you stoked the fire of racists. Innocent people were shot down because they looked different from you. Because they look like me. They look like my family. Words have consequences. Ya basta.
No word yet on how that's playing with the Fox News audience, but the Trump administration, of course, is facing off these political threats with a lot of real policy. So you have to factor that in. Consider this new rule that basically says now this government, this country, wants to favor wealthy immigrants over all other ones, and that experts say could limit family-based immigration from places like Mexico, Central America, and Africa. I'm joined now by Jason Johnson, politics editor for The Root. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Ari.
Let's start. We've been doing a lot of policy and a little bit of history and ethics tonight. I'm going to start you on the politics, then we can get back to the ethics. How do you rate, as a political writer, the impact of that ad?
I think it's good. Honestly, when I first saw it, it kind of looked like the background of, like, This Is America from Childish Gambino. Like, I wondered what he was about to do in this sort of open garage space. But what I like is Castro is doing something that I think too many Democrats forget to do. There is no problem with going on Fox News. There's no problem with going on conservative or right-wing radio shows. But you got to keep your message consistent. So I like the idea that Castro is saying, look, I know this is Fox News, but I still believe there's people there who understand this message, right, that these kinds of policies are dangerous.
And that it stands out for that decision among others. We're going to put you mentioned him in the deserted parking lot. We'll put that back up. There are other possibilities. You know, Eminem famously did his freestyle battle against Trump in the similar empty lot. I don't know why that's considered such a great staging ground. The other possibility, Jason, is like all of us, because we're all people, he had a long night and can't find his car.
It could be that as well. He could have actually been lost and just had the camera crew there talking to him on a regular basis.
You know, anything could happen. Now, I'm going to make a hard turn from that terrible joke, my bad, my apologies, to, again, we said the politics, now the ethics, and something you have spoken a lot about, and I know our viewers have heard a lot of your great analysis on this, which is, what does it mean in 2019 to deal with a president who acts this way, this blatantly, this repeatedly, from Charlottesville to El Paso? Senator Warren coming out here and making this, as far as I could tell, something she is not sugarcoating. It's a theme now of her current battles with the president, and it echoes what Castro is doing. Take a look.
A man who has used racist language and racist imagery over and over and over, and most of all, a man who winks and nods at the white supremacists and who in turn is embraced and celebrated by the white supremacists. You know, when the white supremacists call Donald Trump one of their own, I tend to believe them.
Right.
What is the significance of that?
Well, I like the fact, Ari, in all honesty, I think most of the Democratic candidates, Warren, Buttigieg, Castro, Booker, there's been a bit of hedging from Harris and Biden, but most of them have been very clear. Look, the president's a racist, the president is a white supremacist, and there are negative consequences to this. And that's what I think is important about what Warren just said. She's like, look, it's not just that he's a bad guy. It's not just that he's putting forth white nationalist policies, but the people, the violent organizations that have these beliefs see him as their leader. And I think that's a very important message, not just for the soul of this country, which is important, but to make people recognize, especially white America, hey, this is dangerous for everybody. A president who encourages this behavior leads to more shootings, more violence, and higher levels of terror.
I got one more thing, and you laid that out, and it's serious. I got one more thing before we go. You know, we talk sometimes, but you didn't tell me before this interview that you were going to mention Childish Gambino, right?
I did not tell you that at all.
Just real talk. I did not know you were going to do that. The Beat team is so on it that as you were making that comparison, we have now built live out of the control room, side by side. You're right. I mean, look, those are similar backgrounds,
Yeah,
if nothing
it's
else.
the same thing. Yes, yes. I just wanted to see Castro dance.
Castro's coming out of Iowa City. Iowa, always a good place for politics. I don't know at this hour where Gambino is coming from.
Right.
Jason Johnson, a fascinating comparison. We appreciate you. I'll see you again on the beat, sir.
All right. Thanks, Ari.
And one more piece.